Hello and welcome to the pre-show of the 84th episode of the HaloEra podcast. How's it going, everyone?
Hello.
This is where the main show will start in about 10 minutes, where we're talking about Halo and stuff. This is kind of just like hang out with us while we're here, while we're getting things ready for it. Let me know if the audio is okay for everyone, because I feel like Nick might be a little low on my end, but that could just be me.
Yeah, testing. Hello, howdy.
I can't mess with that, actually. Give me a sec.
How do I?
Could you try making your volume a little louder?
I mean, the only way I can
Oh
make
yeah,
it louder is.
that's a lot better. That's a lot better right there.
Oh, okay. I did absolutely nothing besides just tap the the arm of the mic.
Okay, I'll put the tweet live soon. I think right before we do our intro. What have you been up to these days, Nick? I know you've been super busy, man. There's some real life stuff.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned last time that I was getting a house, so I got closed on it, and now I will be so yeah, now I'll be moving in. So 'cause I think we were talking about maybe doing an episode next week.
Mm.
So
I mean,
it's
it's
like,
to me iffy, right? When are you planning on moving in?
well, I'll be planning on moving in throughout basically all the next weekend.
Mm.
So not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after. I
Okay,
plan on trying to get all the big stuff over.
so you're not gonna have
Still
that
need to figure out what
fancy
to.
backdrop for a little bit, huh? I imagine.
No, so yeah, because I was looking at the house and it's just like, so I might, because I'm gonna put stuff in the basement. So my whole
Mm.
like, because also it's all old two prong, so it doesn't have the three ground like that a lot of modern houses and stuff do.
Yeah.
Basically things that you need to run like your computer and stuff off of safely.
Okay.
Um, and in order to run that stuff up to like the third floor where I was thinking of maybe putting my whole setup, um, it would be it could potentially be costly because I might have to tear up some walls and it would just be a
Yeah.
hassle. So in the basement, it's all kind of like it's like kind of like a donut. So it has one central like pillar with like the heater or like the HVAC and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
water heater and all that, and then but also has like the washer and dryer there. So I need a something of like moving the washer and dryer, and then putting up a wall to split the basement in half, and then having the one half be my gaming setup. So,
Okay, so it's gonna take a bit.
so yeah, so depending on how fast we can get that, just that simple wall up and everything moved, um, my setup may be with just a sheet behind me and stuff.
That's the go-to
Uh,
one, man. For a while, John moved,
yeah,
and I think for a good like month or two, it was just a white sheet behind him. Then the white sheet came down. It was like this fancy Halo painting and stuff. Man was building his own
mm,
house, so he like basically made like a podcast room essentially.
uh, yeah, and that's kind of what I want to try to do down there because like my parents or when he said that, I was like, why do you want to do all this? And it's like you just want something so you can have a nice backdrop for your thing. It's like, well, yeah, it's like I want it
Yeah,
like kind of soundproofed and stuff too.
yeah,
Because actually, if it is only going to be me, I might have a roommate eventually too.
yeah.
So I want to try to soundproof some stuff. It is an older house. It was built almost 100 years ago.
Oh,
So
yeah. Holy crap.
um which is a lot of houses here around this area and stuff is like, or at least a lot of the houses that I could afford.
Yeah,
um
yeah. I mean, that's just
we're
how it goes.
all, yeah, it's first time home buying and stuff like that. Like, I'm not rolling in the cash. So if I was, I would have been out of this place a long time ago.
Oh
um
man.
but I need to kind of figure out what I'm going to do on there. So it's going to be a pretty simple setup. Like I don't know if I'm going to have my nice TV and stuff that I have up here because I
Mm.
have nice
I mean,
four
eventually you'll
monitors.
have it
So
pretty nice, I'm sure. But the beginning probably is
yeah,
like some
yeah.
very
Beginning will
like
be rough, but you know,
some
it,
growing
it is what it
pains.
is.
If you move in
So yeah,
next Saturday, then maybe if you're not too busy, we do an episode that week, so you have the actual week you're in off because you're probably not going to be fully set up. You know what I mean?
I won't be set up. So if we did one next Saturday, then we can have that off week,
Exactly,
and then
and that
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Which I think next Wednesday might be able to do things. My mom, I think, might be here, so I don't know.
Nice.
So we'll see. It might be a couple weeks until we do an episode.
Yeah, fair enough. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Yep. So even during it's a good thing it's the pre-show. So I think we'll have a few people watching, anyways. So I'll just kind of talk and ramble to myself. So yeah, I will probably reiterate it in the podcast and stuff too, but it will be it might be a couple weeks when we don't have the podcast. We'll have to see.
Okay, I could hear the whole time, so we're good. The range in these headphones is decently high. Like I go outside my house sometimes, I can still hear them.
What brand?
It's A50s.
Oh,
They were way too expensive, and I still to this day regret the purchase.
That's gosh, what? I'm trying to remember the brand.
Astro.
Astros. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
I it's like I saw the name, but I couldn't read it in my head. I use Turtle Beach. I'm a Turtle Beach fan.
Yeah.
And so the range on these things is great. I have actually another pair of these that are just sitting in the closet, like completely brand new, still in the box for when these things finally like die. I've been keeping them going through like duct tape and glue. So it's like, yeah, they're just Frankenstein together, and they still work great, still comfortable.
That's nice.
So yeah.
Okay. What have you been playing? You haven't got a chance to play much, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. No, the one night I was gonna actually get back onto Hogwarts Legacy, and finish that because I haven't finished that.
Yeah, neither did I. I dropped it like 10 hours, like 6 hours in.
Yeah, I want to try to finish that so I can uninstall it and so I can install Call of Duty and play that campaign and stuff like that. But I just haven't had the time. Well, when I wanted to play it, it had a big update, so I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing this tonight. And then
that's funny.
I was going to play the Marble Blast Ultra Marble.
Yeah,
the current one.
Yes, yeah.
The Marble Blast or whatever. And but that needed an update too, so I was like,
oh my god,
yeah, not playing that.
I don't get why the console doesn't keep everything auto updated. Like I have auto updates on. My computer's in standby. Update here. My crap, please.
Yeah, same here. It's like so frustrating because it's like actually I have started to play Fortnite again. We played
with the return to chapter 1 or whatnot, right?
Yeah, and we're doing the no build mode because we absolutely hate when people just
build a 5-star hotel in the middle of a fight. Yeah.
Yes. So we've been playing no build and we've been doing pretty well. And then we were doing good, and then we did better in Apex after playing it. And
interesting.
So we just need a pregame with Fortnite and then go into Apex. So I guess those are the two games that
I've been playing a lot because we're gonna build our staff list soon, and I did not play enough 2023 games. So the next 2-3 weeks is me going, I need to play as many 2023 games as I can to build a proper list. So I played Alan Wake 1, which I never played before. It's fantastic. Great game. Holds up completely. I finished Hi-Fi Rush. Fantastic game. Again, both are going to be in my list. Well, Alan Wake, we actually don't. And I started Dead Space because it just got to Game Pass like a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. Holy crap, that game is scary. That game is so freaky. Like, the sound design is next level.
I need to get into those. I don't really play them, and now if we're gonna move into a fucking big old creaky house, I don't know if I want to start playing them.
That's true, right?
In a fucking dark basement.
I avoided the game for so long because I don't do horror games; they're too personal. But it's really good though. It's worth the hype. There's a reason some people liked it as much as they did.
Mm-hmm. And I played Callisto. That was pretty good. Not a lot of people liked it, but I liked it.
I feel like if you like Callisto, you'll love Dead Space. Though it still has some old mechanics, of course. Okay, we just at 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and go live, and let's get this show on the road. Actually, we've been live this whole time, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, for those who stuck with us, thanks for sticking with the very on-the-spot pre-show. That's the whole point, though. And we'll see you after the intro with the 84th episode. See you guys soon. Hello, and welcome to the 84th episode of the HaloEra podcast. A podcast dedicated to one of the most iconic franchises, well, let's say most iconic gaming franchises in the world. I was going to use storied, but that's Abe's line, so I had to find another line. Joining us today is, of course, myself, SoulBlazerz, and my usual co-host, Nick. How's it going, man?
Howdy. Good to see you again.
Yeah,
And
always.
and welcome to all those like probably one or two viewers that hopped on right at 8.
We
that didn't see the
we
pre-show.
apologize for not going. I always forget to get rid of this thing. Hold on 1 second. We apologize for not going last week. It's been a very hectic couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For a lot of us. But it's also been a pretty hectic couple of weeks for Halo, with new updates, with some cool discussions, with some stuff on the horizon. And hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk Halo, and let's dive right into it. The first thing, just because it is what it is, today is November 15th, 2023. That date special at all, Nick?
If I had to think back to my like wee little self, who at the time didn't really play Xbox, but later on was able to revel in the glory that is Halo 1 or Halo CE. Yes, today is Halo CE's birthday. Turns 22 today.
22. Dang, I could legally drink last year, huh? In the States.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to make that same joke too.
we both missed it by a year. But
yeah.
So
so that's pretty cool.
Before we dive too much into that, though, I was debating taking the book out and showing it, the one we got the 20th anniversary, but it's like 2 years late, and I'll wait till you get yours before we show off together. Show off together with that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know when I'll be getting mine.
Yeah, that might be a little while, but it's okay. It's okay. I can
Yeah.
So one thing that did happen between our last two shows is the infection contest, the Forge Era's infection contest, finally completed. We got the results in, and I'll switch over to the tab. But Nick, who won the whole thing?
It was Virus and oh gosh, sorry, I want to make sure I get the names right. I just need to find where that tab is.
So yeah, I have it open on screen too. The second place was Small Hollow.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you have it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Second place is Small Hollow by Oakham 1. And then first place was
the pirate map.
Yeah.
It's called Plunderland. It's essentially
Plunderland.
just the pirate map.
Yeah, I have so many freaking tabs open, and I was like, I had it here somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like I can visualize the map. Today's been a hectic day.
Yeah,
but yeah, Plunderland by Virus 11010. So yeah, go check out the article. It has
both
links to maps.
Are pretty cool. Small Hollow is really interesting. Like the amount of work you put in to change the atmosphere and to like really make it super creepy has to be commended. They should put flood sound effects in the game too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they'll probably come eventually. Yeah, you can see those come eventually.
Right.
Then we also had some honorable mentions. Which were
Retention by I Crush All. This one was pretty good. I think I remember playing it a little while back. And then
Jotun, or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Jotun, technically. This is the one with the flood research facilities and stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, this one I had pretty cool environment stuff in it where they remade the old Halo 3 infection forms, which is like really cool. That I just remember going in the map and just like, I told one of my friends at the time, just like, come see this room. That's like sweet.
I had footage of this map because this one I really liked. I put it as my first, but I can't find the footage now, of course. But it's really cool. I mean, these are the kind of maps I hope we see in a community infection playlist. Hopefully soonish. Because I feel like in general people like playing new maps. You know.
Yep.
That is all the rage.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll say the contest for the maps we had, it was when it got down to picking who was the top winners. It was a bit tough to kind of go through, and so it was like really close.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um,
Like
I
Plunderland,
think
not my first choice, but I know it's a really well designed map for sure. John loves pirate stuff though too, right? So I think it immediately went to like his number one instantly. Like no, no debate about it. But they're all good
yeah,
though. They're all good.
yeah, the winners and stuff we thought were pretty well balanced and good aesthetics. They were, I think, both are technically remakes that were like kind of reskinned for Infection, but they worked and played well.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, and we expected people for the nonlinear category. We expected people to like reskin their maps and stuff, anyways, because that's kind of an easy thing to do.
Mm.
Um, so we expected a good majority of those. But they're still fun. The atmosphere and everything was like pretty cool in all of them.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more on or we'll be getting some videos out of those winners hopefully soon. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
We'll talk to both the
yeah
winners. We'll get them maybe on the podcast. That'd be nice. Or if not, at least a segment
yeah
of the podcast we'll
we'll,
play.
yeah. So Virus, since he won first place, he will be a guest on the podcast. We'll probably do a pre-recorded because I think he said like Sundays or something work for him.
Yeah.
So obviously, Sunday isn't Wednesday, and so we'll have a pre-recorded podcast probably that week or a segment where we play it. It might be good to just do the whole podcast then, and then he can be part of the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
And then we'll go more in depth into an interview and stuff with him. So expect that probably sometime in December. With me moving and everything, it's going to be a bit tricky to get times, and then especially with the holidays coming up. Hopefully we can get it in before Christmas. I think that's the goal. But once again, sometimes dealing with schedules and life and everything, it makes it difficult.
Yeah,
especially when we just
it's
do this
what
for fun.
we'll work it out. Moving on. So if you notice, the background for this episode, which I used not the last one before, is Halo 3, and it's Halo 3 for a reason. Unless you've been living under a rock, or not in America, I suppose. Then you should know that today, or rather a couple days yesterday, Halo Infinite launched their Halo 3 playlist with 8 maps, I believe, remade and forged from Halo 3. And there are, but they are, how do I phrase this? I don't want to use the term hit or miss, but in a way it kind of. So yesterday I spent a good 3-4 hours just playing this playlist. I played 2 hours on stream, which anyone could join. We had a good time. We had 4 people on at one point, and then I played 2 other hours just saw a couple people on. I'm like, sure, what the heck, right? Let's play. It's a lot of fun. Halo Infinite in general is a kind of game where you get new maps to play, and suddenly it just breathes like a bit of fresh air into the whole game. Heck, one new gun, the Bandit Evo, breathed so much fresh air into the game. I don't believe you had a chance to play the maps yet, right, Nick?
No, I wanted to try to do it today before the podcast a little bit, but I was stuck at that house a little bit longer than I was planning to.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with going a day right after. But I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. The update just came out. For those listening and who haven't played the map playlist yet, like Thasif, you definitely should. It's fun. And yes, while not every map works as well, the Narrows map, for example, is a little too wide. It looks fantastic. It's like Banished Narrows and it looks incredible, but it is a little too wide to get around.
I think we had there was a question that we did get because it's relevant to this topic right now. Okay.
Oh, from Strawman. Yes, the question is, just how much do you bemoan the omission of Snowbound in the Halo 3 playlist? Yes, that is true. There's a Snowbound.
I'll admit I'm not familiar with that word bemoan. That's that's like the first time I've heard that. And I have a college degree. I should know what words are.
uh,
Uh,
it just means like how sad are
but
you that it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. That's why I kind of for context. That's what I figured it was. But uh, yeah. So it's Snowbound. I guess isn't in the Halo 3
it's
playlist.
not. I mean, Snowbound's not bad. It's definitely a good map. I feel like you could
It's
pick
yeah, definitely
any
a smaller map.
Halo 3 maps for the most part, and it'd be pretty iconic, as long as
I
you had a few.
Snowbound was always one of those maps that were hit or miss for me. I liked it with I think like Fiesta or whatever. I thought that was kind of fun.
Mm,
Or like SWAT. I think I liked it for SWAT. Other than that, I just was not. It wasn't my one of my top pick maps.
Snowbound, right?
So yeah, Snowbound. So yeah, it's I don't know. So I guess I'm not too sad that it's not in there. But
I agree.
do we have a list of what
Yes,
is?
I just pulled it up right now. So there's a few different maps, and I'll talk a quick impressions about them because I played a fair bit. So Sylvanas, Guardian. I actually in the entire community play date, I didn't play it even once. We were trying so hard. I'm like, please, just one more. I'll
Weird.
get it. I'll get it. Didn't get it.
You
Then I
think
got it
they'd have
later.
that weighted more?
It's pretty fun. It looks fantastic. Like I mean, it's Guardian, right? It's a remake of Guardian from Halo
Yeah.
3. Tried and tested map.
Yeah, yes, very much so. One of the more heavily remade ones, or
Yeah,
sought
exactly.
after ones.
Exactly.
That and Lockout are like up there.
Yeah, and I swear they feel like they're built off each other anyways. And
Yeah,
as a kid, I thought they were both the same maps. I'm pretty sure. Like,
they're very similar.
the next one up is the pit, which is a more traditional looking pit. I actually didn't play this. I played a lot. This is the one map that didn't appear in my playlist. By screenshots, it literally just looks like Halo 3 the pit. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing it'll revenue that it'll like
yeah, and
elevate that pretty well.
there's a few pit remakes already in the playlist and stuff too.
Yeah. Third one is Cliffside, which is a remake of Blackout, which is a remake of Lockout.
Lockout.
Right? Blackout's cool, but this is where I gotta go through a few gripes. So these playlists, right? They're played on quick play settings, you could say, which is like assault rifle, pistol, which is okay. Yeah, a battle rifle or a bandit evo would be better. I think that's fine. What's not fine is that all the power weapons in these maps have normal level things, which means a hammer is there, it has full friggin' ammo, right? Which means it can kill literally 15 people without dying. A rocket has 4 full shots. Sword, same thing. And in this specific case of this map right here, the hammer is so broken. So broken. I mean, if Season 5 brought with it a pretty big hammer buff, because now people actually go flying with it. Like you hit someone with a hammer and you're going to go flying through the sky. People are like, yeah, that's what we want. Issue is it still kills you too. So it kills you from a mile away. It sends your body flying when you're dead. And it has a ton of ammo and it hits all the goddamn time. And it really shouldn't be in maps that are this close range. Not with Halo Infinite's hammer, in my opinion. It's a little too powerful, you know?
Yeah, they need a. I know for a while too. We've been saying that they need to tweak the hammer just because. I mean, I've mentioned before that they need to make it just swing faster, so it's like how it has been in every other game.
And nerf the range.
Just make it like that. Yeah, nerf the range and
Yeah.
just have it swing like it normally does. Then the reason why they added the range is because they
It's a
have the
slower
fucking wind-up
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And it's like so people get out of the way or whatever or can't judge it. So they have the longer range, so it's easier to use that. It's like, no, stop breaking the hammer to
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
And when it was broken to begin with, it's like you're just making it worse. Sorry,
Next one up
over.
is the map currently. Hey, we both ranted. We're okay. Next one is the map that's currently being played, where I think, yeah, this match goes okay. I wasn't playing too hot. Which is Narrows, but specifically Banished Narrows. So this map have had some complaints. Oh, that's a nice drop shield. I'm not gonna lie. This map's had some complaints. Because people are saying it's a little too wide, a little too big. And that's something I think a lot of people are complaining about because a lot of the maps got bigger to handle Halo Infinite's movement and sandbox. The issue is
you play with a wider FOV too, right?
Yes, I play 104. Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes it even look bigger.
Yeah.
But even with that, I can tell this map is pretty freaking
One
wide.
of the issues though is I feel like Halo Infinite's movement, right? Like not just a sprint but the slide is if you land the G slides, the maps aren't big anymore. They all become really small because you're sliding through them super quick. right? If you're not landing those, if you're not going for those at all, like I miss like more than half the ones I go for, suddenly you're sprinting a lot to get to where you need to get to. So I can see it, but at the same time, if you make the maps too small, people are going to be instantly in your face with
Yeah.
the movement availability in the game.
And I think what they do, I forget. So there's a way to measure essentially for scaling for maps when you do remakes. A lot of times people think like, oh, just like, what is do a 1-to-1 based on the actual scale of like the Spartan
Mm.
or say like a Warthog. Like a Warthog and Crate used to be the kind of the universal like measuring tools for a while. But
Hmm.
what the proper way to kind of go about it is that you base it off of uh, walk speeds. So how fast does the base Spartan move from like point A to point B?
Yeah.
And that's how you do your measurements. So you go back, you boot up Halo 3, and it's
Oh,
just
that's
like, oh,
interesting. Hmm.
how long does it take me to walk from this wall to that next wall? And then try to replicate
Yeah.
that same amount of time in Halo Infinite. That way it's like movement wise, it feels
But it's a little
the
different
same.
though, right? In because in the sense that what if they're sprinting instead of walking? Do you do sprint speed instead? Then do you try and find like a middle
Well,
ground?
yeah, and so that was the thing where like you kind of have to um try to factor some of that into it. I forget if there's a conversion or something, but um so you can make it like a little bit bigger because of sprint. Or sometimes you might try to do it like, oh, but if you do it fully based off of sprint speed, then it it ends up being vastly too big. So
Yes.
there
Yes.
is
That
like
makes sense.
some
That
with
makes
stuff.
sense. Yeah.
I
Hey,
I
that's not
always
my
just
job.
kind of done it. Yeah, I was like I always just kind of done it visually. And it was just
Yeah.
like, does this like how does this feel? Does it feel like it's big enough or plays well enough? I never really did the full like 1-to-1 conversions. But I never really did a lot of remakes anyways. So
So next up is a word that I will definitely get wrong. Domicile,
domicile.
domicile. There we go. Yeah, I was never gonna get that correct pronunciation. Which is a remake of not isolation. It's a remake of Construct. Um,
Okay. Yes, I see it now.
from Halo
Yeah.
3. This map is really interesting. It's huge. It's massive, and
This one does look
it's got
huge.
like 8 different layers. Like this is inside somewhere right now. Like just watch it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
respawn already.
Yeah, the inside was not that big. This looks like a big team map.
It's really big. At the same time, you do meet people. Like it's rare that I wasn't only when I'm like running away from people. I'm not like for example the oddballs there. There's this giant area down here, and then I'm like, what the heck is this?
Yeah,
Pretty
they
sure someone
seem
here
like
waiting for me with a rocket or something. No, they
they
sent
seem
it.
like tiny Spartans running around
The
with
map
like
is
tiny
huge.
modes on.
But I actually really like it. In fact, I think this is one of the better ones in the map pool that plays with Halo Infinite. I feel like I'm gonna be in a minority. Like even this beginning, you see the other team the moment you leave, and it's kind of like this cool like you don't get that in Infinite. Like it's like this: do we fight each other now? Do we go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Um, this map did have an issue with one of the King of the Hills. One of the hills you could be in where you probably shouldn't have been able to be in. It's like a little hallway next to the hill, but the hill's above you.
Mhm.
Can you increase the height of or decrease the height of the hill? Is that like a thing you can do? I don't even
I
know.
believe so. Yeah, it's a zone,
Yeah,
so you can adjust that stuff.
they should definitely adjust that then. Okay, and then next up is the one that played so often for some reason, which is High Ground, remake of High Ground.
I almost did a remake of High Ground. Well, a reimagining of High Ground with my buddy Max Extra. Actually, we were
Yeah.
working on a map, and we're like, oh, it has almost the same layout as High Ground, so we're
Hmm.
gonna do basically a reimagining or a remix of High Ground, kind of like what they did to with Bloodline or the
Yes. Yes.
coagulation
Coagulation. Oh,
thing.
I see. Like a
Yeah,
reimagining. Yeah, that's actually pretty.
yeah,
Reimaginings are always fun.
yeah. So that way we can kind of do what we want, but still have kind of like a feel and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No,
but
agreed.
yeah, it
High
felt it.
High Ground is one of the maps that I don't think works in Halo Infinite 1-to-1. with only one real area of entry. You can't enter the gate from the left, and even though it is one flag, first off, I'm not a big fan of one flag. It's a different game mode, so it's nice in terms of variety, but otherwise, it's kind of, I don't know. This is the one I think that shouldn't be added. So all these maps will be added into general matchmaking. Oh well, we thrilled them pretty quick. General matchmaking after this playlist ends, which I think is probably in 2 weeks. This is one I think they should touch up again, or maybe rework, or just maybe not add at all. I don't think it works too well with Infinite. Okay, moving on. Next up is Isolation. Let's see, I know I played this one too. Give me a second. I'll find it. So, Isolation remake of Isolation. This is a really interesting map. It reminds me of Halo CE because of like all the weird tunnels and like little bunkers. You know, they don't do bunkers anymore. Not the way they're done in this map.
In the map Small remake, or the Small Infection map, they had Isolation and stuff in there.
Yes, that's what. So I'm playing it and I'm like, what the heck? This? Oh, that was Isolation. That was on the second half of Small. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, which is like really cool that they did, because Isolation has always worked well for infection kind of stuff.
That would make sense.
But just the aesthetic mainly too.
I had an amazing stick in this game where someone was inside the little bunker, and I throw it through the little bunker. It bounces off a wall and it sticks them. I can't even see them, but I hear it land. I'm like, did I stick the person? Boom, got the stick. If I find it, I'm gonna clip it for sure. But this map honestly was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Really, really well done. And then the last one, which is my favorite, and probably because I actually haven't played whatever map it's based off of, which is the Critical Dew Point map, which is based off of, I think, a Forge map in Halo 3 called Athlon. That's for MCC.
That's yeah, Athlon sounds familiar. I think that sounds, it's like it was a map on the pit, I think, or something.
Yes. It had like the containers or whatnot all over it.
Okay, yeah, this kind of looks like it would be like or not the pit. Sorry.
Like pit aesthetic. Is
yeah, it's aesthetic, but oh man, no, this seems big. I'm trying to. There's the map in Halo 3 that was like the Forge map. It was like a warehouse thing. I can't remember what it's, because not the pit. I forget what it's called.
It might be Athlon, to be honest.
No, well, there was a base map that it was called,
okay,
but I think Athlon was built in it. I don't know. It's so hard to remember.
So, FaZe, in terms of new upgrades, there hasn't been too many. The major change to Sandbox is that ranked starts with the Bandit Evo rather than the BR. Otherwise, in terms of abilities, all you have is the Quantum Relocator, which is a power ability, so you don't get it too often, and the Threat Sensor, which is basically just a Threat Seeker. It's the same thing. It's just less useful. It's more so it's just new maps. A ton of new maps are in the game if you haven't played in a while. I was playing this one, and immediately I knew that the person who made this map really knows what they're doing in terms of a map like playing nice, if not necessarily fun. I made the jump, I got the rocket, I killed 2 people, and I'm getting there to reload. Nothing to reload. It was only 2 shots, and I'm like, yes, thank you. I don't need a rocket with 4 bullets in it, please. It completely changes everything a little too much, you know?
Yeah.
Other than that, this map looks amazing. Like, I love this aesthetic.
It kind of reminds me of like an old Quake or something like that, just because it's all
right?
like, it seems very simple and like green, like, slime or whatever.
Right in the beginning, I died because I wasn't sure if I could walk through the green water. I'm like, is this gonna kill me? Like, I don't want to go. Actually, it also has vending machines, which you can activate, and they'll give you a buff. Like in game. Whenever I checked it, it was a speed up buff, which maybe all they have is a speed up buff, but that was interesting to have in a matchmaking playlist, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty fun though.
It is. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so those are all 8 maps. I think, right? I didn't miss any, did I? Nope, no, I didn't. That's all 8 maps, which will be added to regular matchmaking soon afterwards. Means probably quick play, SWAT, all that stuff. They've been on a roll for arena maps for a little while now, but they definitely got to start bringing in some big team battle Forge maps, because that playlist has been stagnating for a while. Like not even a
I
little
was
bit.
actually
Yeah.
just thinking like it'd be cool to bring back some. I'm surprised they didn't do like Halo 3 big team battle maps
Mm.
as well. I uh I know I wanted to remake
Avalanche. Yeah.
Avalanche. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned it before. It's like that's not kind of wanted to do, but just never got around to it. Maybe next year life will slow down
Yeah.
enough for
Yeah.
me
Well, hey, life
to
going
have some
fast
free time.
isn't always a bad thing.
No.
Um, okay, so alongside the maps, the refuel playlist also brought in some more marketing, especially in America, with the drinks, which have a pretty cool looking skin. I looked. I was in America last Thursday. I friggin' crossed dropping a friend off at the airport. I looked for like an hour. I didn't find it anywhere in Michigan. Not in Meyer, not in Target. I didn't check like gas stations. Maybe it's there. Do you know if you have any
It
around
might
you? Did
be.
you find any?
I only went to Kroger,
Hmm.
and I didn't see any at Kroger.
Yeah.
I
All right.
looked, and I think my friend said that he might have got them from Walmart.
Walmart. Huh. I didn't even think
Yeah,
of going to Walmart.
because well, I guess Walmart gets stuff. I think like that sooner or something. I don't know. So I need to go and check Walmart
I did
this
see a lot of
weekend.
the
And
old drinks, the old Mountain Dew stuff. So maybe they're like waiting until those
yeah,
finish before they stock up on.
yeah. Like I found a bunch of other freaking stuff that's out, and I'm just like, well, where the fuck's my Halo
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly, exactly, right.
It's
But
like I need
okay,
to stock up on that game fuel.
moving on. Um, alongside this update, also comes the first operation of the season, Operation Prime Arms, which it's kind of interesting because it doesn't have a dedicated playlist. Dedicated playlist is this thing, and it's essentially just a 20-tier battle pass with some cosmetics. A lot of which is a little filler, some emblems, some WXP, which I have like 105, so it's completely useless to me. But some of the cosmetics look decent enough. Let me see if I can pull up a trailer. Give me a second. Oh wait, I wasn't playing the video at all, was I? I was just looking at it on the left in the stream. My bad. Oh man. But did you get a chance to look at this operation at all?
The no, like I said, like I all this stuff came out,
Oh
and
yeah, it
I've
was all
just
pretty
been
recent. Yeah.
like, yeah. So, which sucks is like I want to be able to get into the stuff, and it's like I would like to watch it and look into it
Yeah.
at work, but it's like work's cracking down on stuff. And it's like, well,
Oof.
why does
Yeah.
it's like so
But the operation, the main thing that really to talk about, I mean, it's just cosmetic battle pass. We've had them many times before. The real difference here is the that this is how events run, right? We've talked about this before, where how now events are operations, which means you can play them, you can buy them after events are over, but when the operation is happening, they take over the slot of the battle pass. So if you open up Halo tonight, you'll check, and Season 5 Reckoning will no longer be the free track. It'll be Operation instead. What does this mean if you own Season 5 Reckoning? Not much. You can switch to it anytime you want. But what it does mean is if, for example, in the next 6 weeks you don't finish the 20-tier battle pass for this, you'll have to pay 500 credits, $5 to access it again in the future. It's interesting.
this is only 20 tiers, so it was like what 20 it was basically 20 ranks or whatever.
Yep. Just 20 ranks.
Okay, so
Um,
that's not too
I
bad.
literally got to rank like 6 after getting 6 ranks in Season 5's, meaning I got, I think, like 9 ranks yesterday in around 4 hours to play. So, yeah, like it's
Okay,
it's
I might
not
have to
difficult.
hop into this, especially considering it has the Mark V and
Yes.
stuff. I want to get that.
No, Mark V stuff's not in this. Oh, wait, what do
Oh,
you mean like the coding?
oh, in the trailer.
So that was
In the
just showing
trailer
that you
showed.
can buy it if you wanted to buy it,
Oh,
which is,
wow,
of
wow.
course, the next topic of
Oh,
controversy.
see, I'm great at segues, you know.
Controversy, you could say, which is the Mark V finally came last week, and it looks friggin' amazing, like it really does.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it is $20.
Oh
Yep,
boy.
$20 for the
Yeah,
Mark
never mind. I'm
V,
not buying that.
the visor and the coating, and it is
Gosh, that
selling
why is it so
very
much?
well, like very
Oh,
well. And
I mean,
every
I
other
would
map
love.
I play, I'm with someone with the skin. Halo Infinite went from like 121st most revenue in Steam to like 20th the week this thing came out. Like,
Uh,
I think that's the
Like,
first
gosh,
cosmetic in the
it's
game
like,
that
dang
people
it,
are,
people,
other than the
vote
ears.
with your wallets. You
Yeah.
know?
It's I'm kind of two-minded on it because in terms of prices, it's very normal for free to play.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
League of Legends
it's
had
a
like a
little bit on the
30.
pricier side.
No, dude, it's not. If this is the most
I,
expensive
for,
skin in a game, this is mid-range for every other free-to-play game I think I've ever seen. Um,
I guess like
it's
mine is
crazy.
Apex, so like
Dude, doesn't Apex have
that's my
$30 skins?
no.
Really?
Yeah,
Do they
I'm
come
pretty
with the
sure it's
agents or something?
um. I mean, you can just like any of the skins that they have, you can just get through like credits or not
Yes. Yeah,
not
yeah.
credits crafting materials and stuff that you get. So it makes it well one a whole lot. You never have to pay stuff for it if you don't want to. And the battle passes are probably on par, but I I would think that I don't remember paying $20 for a skin. I think like maybe 15.
Yeah, fair
Or
enough.
if I did drop $20, it was like because they have the skins be cheaper, and then you have to buy the $20 in order to get the skins, and then you have like some extra credits left over.
Yeah, yeah. That's how a lot of them do it. Um, yeah. But I mean, I remember I played League of Legends like 10 years ago. It had a character like $30 skin way back then. I know Fortnite has some. I know Diablo, even though it's technically not a $40 skin, it comes with the premium battle pass. It's only to get.
Well,
Sorry, not
also
Diablo.
too,
Overwatch.
those ones are like the player base with those is so much larger and
Yeah.
so much more dedicated that like they can kind of put that stuff out there and it will sell pretty well.
I mean, hey, this one's
Hey,
selling, right?
yeah, I mean, if it is, I mean, good, good for them, good for the studio, good for making the money and stuff like that. I mean, t- I don't know, just $20 to me just seems high. I, I, I think I would probably put the highest at like $15. That's probably as high as I would go,
So
personally.
I just curiosity. I looked into some of the most expensive Apex skins, and it looks like this Valkyrie launch skin was 3,000 Apex coins, which I'm assuming is $30. I don't know their currency conversion.
3,000. Yeah,
Everyone, dude,
I
free to
don't
play
know.
games, man. They always have one or two skins which are
Yeah,
just super expensive. It's just
yeah. I guess if every once in a while they have one. Now, is it a kit or is it? Can I put those armor pieces on anything? The
so.
helmet on
This
anything?
is a kit, because
Ah,
it's a full thing. Because
see,
we've had the helmet
uh,
for a while now, right? Um,
have
yeah, the Mark V helmet we've had.
I mean, do I have it, or
You
is
might
that
not
one of
have
those
it,
things
but
that?
I've had it for a
Yeah,
while.
I was gonna say, was that one of the bullshit things where they have? It's like, oh, you can't get it
It was probably
anymore.
like season two, some
Fucking
random
hate that.
event or something. But you
Yeah.
can change the codings for the kits, right? So you can still customize it a fair bit.
Okay.
And it looks
Uh,
nice. Not $20 nice, but not for me.
yeah, I'll say if I can't swap out some of the armor pieces and stuff
Yeah,
like that, then I probably won't get it. Unfortunately, it's just like
they'll get me
I'll
with
hold
the
on.
Halo 4 one because I'm a big fan of Halo 4 Chiefs looks. I just like how it looks. So if they ever release Halo 4, 3 for 3 if you're listening, that's how you get me to spend $20 on a cosmetic. All
It's
right.
like part of me. If I didn't buy a house, I probably would. I'd probably drop the $20, but I try to save money now because I have to, make updates to the house. So that means no Master Chief skin for me.
So alongside the combined operation, there also I noticed some changes in the challenges. Like when I was doing them, so this is the first time I've had challenges where it's like do X number of things in one game. So one was get 5 pistol kills in one game. A friend of mine had get 5 melee kills in one game. They're not particularly difficult, um, but you do need to go for them. If you know what I mean. Like you have to be like, oh, I have to make sure I get the 5 melee kills. So still not a fan of challenges that change the way you play the game.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, that's one of those things with after a while with Apex. That's what I stopped doing. It's like the challenges and stuff, and like it's leaked over to Halo too. It's
mm,
just like I'm like, yeah, I can do all these challenges to get them done to like level up and stuff, but it's like I don't want to have to keep on swapping
yeah,
kind of guns I want, or
yeah,
my
exactly,
play
exactly.
style, or like in Apex it was swapping with legends, and it's like, well, it's like I suck with this legend, but it's like, oh, I guess we like me and my friends would just go and we would play games with all of our off characters because we're like, well, let's just all do it at once so that we can suck.
Yeah, that makes
We
sense.
all suck together.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't like challenges that change the way you play. Admittingly, the challenge system isn't as important as it used to be. Like, I finished all my challenges in those 2 hours I streamed, and then 2 hours later I was just playing the game. And even without any challenges at all, I got like 5 levels in the battle pass. So just playing the game gets you a fair amount of EXP.
which is good.
Yeah,
That's how it should be.
yeah, 100%.
You want to feel like you are making progress and stuff, and like it's if they make it so it's too difficult for you to feel like that, then it wears
Exactly.
people out.
So another thing that's been making the rounds again, because people are complaining about this playlist, is skill-based matchmaking. Again, has become a central focus of the game, where people are saying the game is too sweaty, it's too difficult. I'm not. I guess because in their memories of the Halo 3, they'd like pump stomp bad players. Because
Yes.
right, like if
Yeah.
you're cute with a bad player, you'll destroy them.
Well, yep. And that's where you would have a lot of people who are really good at the game have multiple accounts. So that way they can one play with for their friends that weren't that good,
Mm,
but also two it's just like play against people that suck.
yeah, yeah, because it feels great
Now
killing people that suck.
with Halo Infinite's matchmaking, how because I remember learning about how it works, like from the actual guy who designed it,
Mm,
um, and it's like a common model too, for how a lot of matchmaking and stuff like that was kind of built upon,
it's a
for
variation
not
of
just Halo,
true
for other
skill too.
games.
I know that much.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. So it's like it looks at all your different factors. It's also designed to it's supposed to be designed to keep you playing. So like it will put you with some people that are like in matches where it knows that you'll be close
yeah,
in
yeah.
like skill.
It always tries to get a
But
close
so
game.
you yeah, so you might like I think like if you lose for a while, it'll put you into games where it's like predicts that you should win or
Mm,
have like a better margin of winning. So that way you get that win and it's like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll play a few more games. And it kind of hooks you there.
yeah,
So that's kind of how it's designed to work. Um and I think it's just uh with that a lot more people might be falling into the oh I'm just kind of losing all the time
yeah,
and uh, because like uh, how they want it so the scores are always close. They don't want it so it's like one team completely wipes you one way or the other.
yeah. Exactly. Because I mean, I know everyone loves their memories of pub stomping people, but as someone who played a little bit of Halo 3 as a kid and got destroyed often because I only played split screen, it's not fun.
Yeah,
It's not fun to the
yeah,
point where I didn't even get live. I even convinced my parents. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with split screen. My siblings, where I'm like half decent. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think
So
people with their memories of Halo 3 being stroked with this playlist are coming in expecting the same pub stomping in a lot of ways because they're pretty good at the game, right? But now the game's like, nah, you're still playing against people roughly around your skill level, all right?
and people always want to win, like
Yeah,
everyone wants to
yeah,
win like all the time, but the reality is you can't have everyone win all the time
yeah, of course.
unless you're going against bots. That's the only way.
And it's like, in a lot of ways, like I've had this happen to me too, where it's like when you play sweaty, you'll be up against sweats. Is
Mhm.
generally how it happens. You play a game, you don't take it as seriously. Your score's not the greatest. You lose, not a big deal, right? You're not going to be up against hyper super serious. I need to win no matter what people, right? The game
Yeah.
will kind of like adjust. Be like, oh, I'm not taking this too seriously. Let's adjust for this. At
Mhm.
least in social is what I've noticed. Not so much in ranked. Ranked, everyone takes it seriously, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but okay. So another couple things that I tried out were we've got a couple other Forge based PvE stuff. One of this is the Sierra 117. Someone made the mission in part 1, part 2. I didn't get a chance to play through most of it. I just played the
Oh,
first
nice.
like 5 minutes. It was pretty cool. It definitely needs the what did I think?
Music.
Yeah, it definitely needs the music for sure. I feel like that's such a big part of this mission. You know what I mean? And the outlines
Yeah.
are a little way too thick. I know I can turn them down on my own, but I wouldn't. I'd like it if like you could just remove them for AIs. You know, because
Yeah. Are you able to just remove them all together?
yes, yeah, they added the option to remove
Okay.
outlines completely. But
Okay.
maybe add a
I thought
toggle
they
for
did.
AI outlines. to remove those. So it's more like the campaign, etc. Overall, it's
Yeah.
pretty fun. Someone also remade Silent Cartographer, which I only got to
Nice.
play for another like 10 minutes as well, but that looked pretty cool. Again, missing the music, huge part of these campaigns, you know?
Hey, yes. Well, and it's like it'd be hard to have the music really sync to the game though, because I mean the way that they do video game music is
Yeah,
they do it in sections,
yeah.
and it's like, and they have transitional periods of like where they
It had the
know they
skull though.
can have the extra like or the music, the next part of the music.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's skull. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
like
Oh, they
I
phase
met the
it.
skull so often that I'm like, hey, I wonder if it's here. I wonder if it's here. I checked the spot. There it was, sitting right where it's supposed to be.
Nice.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's a lot easier when you have full control over everything. That being said, I think give forgers tools and they'll do it. You know?
Yeah, yeah, they'll find a way. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. Well, if they gave everyone the sections of the music, it's just like, hey,
Yes. Yeah.
like here's this part and whatever. Then you could script it in to be like, when the person hits this marker,
Yeah.
then start like transition it to this.
Yeah.
Or like if they had one music object that was that had like, hey, there are these like three parts of the track, like A, B, and C, that you can hook up to triggers, and
Yeah.
that's like when it will help change the music. That would be kind of
That'd
cool.
be really
Maybe
cool. Even if all they did was
that'd be
give
really
forgers the
advanced.
tools themselves, like, hey, you want to split the music up? Feel
Yeah,
free. Here's the track, split
yeah,
it up, repeat it as you want. That'd be cool. Maybe some
that
licensing
would be
issues
cool.
though. So we'll see how
Yeah. Well, it would have to be
Halo
music
Infinite.
that is in Halo
Yeah.
Infinite. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but it'll probably be a long time till
Yeah.
see anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean, heck, we thought Forge AI was just a myth until they were working on it for a while and they got it out. So
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how long Halo Infinite.
Well, I'll say it would be way down. So the reason why we got water and
Yeah.
AI is because those were at the top of the list
Yeah.
of the wish list.
Yeah.
So like the editing of the music would be something that it would be way at the bottom.
Yeah. No, it makes
So
sense. But speaking, I mean, hey, if they last long enough, right? If the game lasts long enough, which brings us over to our next topic kind of quickly, which is it time to abandon the Xbox One? Right? Like we've talked about this again and again.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know, man. At this point, I feel like it kind of depends. If they don't think Infinite lasts more than, I don't know, another 2 years, why bother dropping the Xbox One, right?
yeah.
Like at that point,
I I think they should drop it when they bring in like the next major part of the game, like
hmm.
which would be another campaign piece.
Yeah, what?
If they bring in another campaign thing, just be like, hey, this is the next big drop of the game. With it, like you can only play it on
Series consoles.
the series consoles, and like over the next year we're going to be phasing out the support um for the Xbox One.
What if
Now I
Infinite
can see
doesn't
that
get a big campaign content? What if they just moved on to the next game, which will release in 2028, 5 years
that
from now?
then oh, gosh, I think
Like, is there
if
a
they
moment where
don't
they
get
can drop support, like a big update? Is there even something that can do
if
that?
if they don't plan on doing another campaign like drop, then I think they'll probably keep Xbox One support until Halo Infinite,
Two.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
until Halo Infinite 2, or whatever they end up doing. Um, which would then be basically another campaign thing. But I think that for the next at least the next couple of years, we're still going to see support for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
After that, hopefully they start to kind of drop it because then they can do more. Once they drop the Xbox One, they'll be able to open up Forge a whole lot more. It won't have
Exactly.
as many
That's one of the reasons
restrictions.
why I think they should drop it sooner rather than later. Is right now
Yeah,
Forge is still on fire in the sense that people really want to use it and want to make it, and people are cool
yeah,
seeing
but it
the
has
videos.
still a lot of bugs and restrictions for the size of maps and
Yeah,
things like that.
exactly. And if dropping Xbox One can help like loosen those restrictions, maybe it's time to do it.
Yeah,
Maybe bring it with
but
like a season update even next year if it's big enough, if it has enough Forge features. Who knows? I don't know.
it if they were to start phasing out the um, Xbox One, they would need to start announcing it
Yeah.
soon and be like, "Hey, over the next year, we're going to be phasing this out. So, and since they haven't really done anything like that yet, I think if they were going to start doing it, it wouldn't be until sometime next year when they announce, hey, 2025, end of 2025 is when we will be dropping support for the
Yeah. Yeah.
Xbox One.
Yeah, who knows? Let's see. I mean, Pierre's cooking. I trust the guy. Based off his results, nothing personal. So let's let's
It,
hope let's hope
yeah.
they do it.
I'll say it probably depends too on how the American economy does
Yes, yeah, that's
in the
true, huh?
next year, because they're talking about us going into a recession and
Oh
stuff,
man.
and like on the verge of that. So we'll see, which is great for someone who just bought a house. So um, so yeah, we'll see,
Okay.
because yeah,
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find this stupid friggin'
yeah. So
thread.
so
Okay,
when
so
is the mid season
yeah, so the
update
next
coming?
one up, which is also part of one of the questions asked by Quiet Gamer, which is when do we think Firefight King of the Hill shows up? Which is essentially the same question as when is the mid-season update coming,
Mhm.
right? So we have a couple dates. We know Operation 1 started on the 14th, which was yesterday. We know Operation 2 starts the 19th, which is I think 5 weeks directly from the actually it might even be 4 weeks. I'll have to double
It
check.
seems like before weeks. That's
Yeah,
like, from 14 to 19. That's
yeah,
about a month.
yeah. It's 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure, and they said operations last 4 to 6 weeks. So judging by the worst case scenario, season 6 should land January 30th, which is 6 weeks after Operation 2. Which now the question is, when does the mid-season update come? When does Firefight come? Right?
Yeah, because they said that it will be coming. The Firefight will be coming
Yep.
mid-season, right?
With the mid-season update.
So, so, I mean, I would think like
And we got the big
the next operation
the next operation is
that
like a day before Christmas holidays. Like that is not the time you
yeah,
want to drop a brand new mode.
that's true.
You know?
I mean, then I would hope sometime in early December, like second week of December, I'd say that, like the 8th,
That
or
that's
from
I
like the 5th or
it's
8th or
probably
whatever.
like the best. Like first or second week of December would probably be like the ideal time
Yeah,
to drop it.
yeah, because that gives them time to work out some stuff. That there can help potentially build some more sales and stuff going into
Holiday season.
I know it's free to play,
Yeah.
but it's like,
No, but
yeah,
still.
build in more traffic
It's like, hey, I just
going
bought a
into
new
the holiday
Xbox. What do I
season.
play? Hey, Firefight's up. Come down Halo Infinite, give it a shot.
Yeah, because you can't do split screen
You can
and
do split
stuff,
screen
right?
multiplayer. So you should be able
Okay,
to do split screen Firefight, I believe.
okay, it's campaign that I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of. So that would be a good thing for, like, if they get it in early December, then that gives them essentially the whole month of December. Because if you think about it, there's a bunch of family parties going on.
Yeah.
Firefight would
Yeah.
be a great way to get your friends and family into playing when they're over, celebrating the holidays. Like, that would be a great couch co-op thing.
Yeah. You're not
Um,
wrong.
so uh, it's that would be a fun way to even try to bring in, people into that ecosystem through that means. So that's when I would drop it. Is like, yeah, that second week of December, maybe first week of December, ideally, so that way you have more time to work on any bugs. But people will be kind of coming back from their Thanksgiving breaks and stuff, so
Yeah.
that's why you kind of give them a week
Exactly.
to
Right.
kind of work off those food comas,
And
and
it's
then
called
at the studio
mid-season
drop.
update. If the update released October 14th, sorry, the season starts October 14th and it ends January 30th. That's the middle of that is what? December, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
roughly
yeah,
mid-December.
yeah, like that would probably put it around the first or second week of
Yeah.
December. Yeah,
So I mean, hey, it sounds like a perfect. And you didn't tie a Firefight to an operation, right? Like
no,
they never said they did, and it just makes sense tying
no,
a Firefight to a Christmas operation. I think that's something that actually
no,
maybe confused people a little bit. Is operations were really meant to replace events, but the way they talked about them was almost like we need to tie more things to them. You know?
yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's not too long, right? Another week, another 2 weeks. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the little flood lore drop that came out, the 30-minute audiobook.
Yeah, I was gonna try to listen to that
No
today at
worries.
work.
We'll talk about it next time though, because I definitely want to. Because
Okay.
it was really cool. Like it's an audiobook. It's pretty creepy sounding, and it doesn't really have too much stuff of substance in it, but it's just fun, and it's nice
Okay.
getting the flood back again. And it's got some cool maybe ramifications for the future. So definitely down to talk
Ooh,
about that
okay.
once we're all on it. Um,
Yeah. I'll try to listen to it before next week. So like I said, I mainly just forgot to do at work. I was just like listening to music where I could have just been listening to that.
yeah, no, not a
So
problem. Okay, and with that, we essentially go to near the end of our show, where we shout out the Patreons and you guys watching and commenting. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us. If you want to ask us questions you want to answer, which is the segment here, we just think the best way now is through the Discord. We'll open up a thread a couple days before we go live. Just go in there, ask any question you want. We'll answer it on the show. If you want any feedback about the show, give it to us there too. We'll get back to you. Other than that, in terms of questions, we already answered 2 of them, and the last one's hidden in the Hill channel, and I remember it. It was by Mix, I believe. Give me 1 second.
yeah. So while I was looking for that, go back to our patrons. Yeah, our Patreon and stuff helps support the website. Also, by signing up, you can access to some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So there is Nick and Six Flicks, I think that's what it is, or Sick Nick's Flicks. I forget. It's basically where Sick Mechanico and Special Nick talk about some movies and stuff, like the new movies and stuff that are coming out. They go watch them and they talk about them. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting podcast. But you can only access that through the Patreon if you I forget which tier it's at, but uh, we also do a bunch of giveaways for our Patreon members. We get a bunch of codes for games, so you have better chances of just getting free games. So like for $3 a month, you can get like a $60 game, or a chance of getting a $60
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we got
You know,
just
so
some a lot of
that
codes.
there's a yeah, there's a I mean, hell, that's better than Game Pass if you think about it. You're
Straight up.
paying $15 a month for Game Pass, and or whatever it is now, because I think they raised it. And yeah, you get some games there, but for $3, really good chance that you can get some games, because there's not a whole lot of patrons.
No, there aren't.
So chances are
For those
usually pretty good.
listening, sorry, the friggin' audio from the menu music was playing in the back. Sorry about that. It was loud because I forgot to friggin' mute it. Um, it is muted now, and it will be muted for the future. So just thanks for letting me know, though. Yeah, just have to apologize about that. But yeah, no, the patrons are honestly, and also this coming holiday, I think we got some pretty nice codes lined up.
Yes. Yeah, we have some cool stuff. And the more that you guys are able to help us support the website and everything, the more like cool stuff we can do for you guys.
Yeah.
I think we on some of the main podcasts and things like that. Also go check out our other podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of great ones.
This week will be interesting because you got the TGA nominations, which I'm sure will dominate most of the
Yeah.
discussion there. Um,
Yep.
Speaking of, actually, that's something I kind of wanted to touch about. Was Halo was completely absent from TGA nominations.
It doesn't surprise me.
It
I mean,
doesn't.
Starfield was it was on there for Game of the Year even.
Yeah, yeah. No, Starfield. I understand the sense that it's like that panel that's voting for these will not nominate Starfield because they've been like
Yeah.
bashing the game for months. So
Yeah, which is stupid. That's why I don't even look at those things. I think I joked on the main Discord that we should do our own
we
that
should, man. If we get
XboxEra
big
do
enough, and
our
hey,
own.
that's a nice like tangent with the patrons. Like, hey, if we get big enough, we'll friggin' do our own show. All right,
I mean,
like
hell, I say I'll mark it right here right now. Let's do one for next year.
yeah,
It doesn't
okay,
matter how big we are.
okay,
Let's just do our own, because you have to start somewhere. So, like, I mean, a lot of times these things start off small as like fun little things that one like little group is doing, and they get enough traction that they're like, oh hey, let's do this, and we won't
Yep.
limit it to just Xbox.
Of
There's
course
enough
not.
of us
No.
here who play other consoles, so we'll be fair. I mean, obviously, yes, we would love to have Xbox win more stuff, but
I mean, if it happens, it
or
happens.
hell,
But
maybe we
yeah,
do it like our own Halo, or we do it the own Xbox showcase kind of things, or our own Xbox game of the
that'd be
years.
cool. That'd be
You
cool.
know,
We should talk to the team. But so
see, Scott's already Scott in the chat's already volunteered now.
the one award I wanted to actually two I wanted to see Halo here for at TGA was best ongoing game because I think it's had a fantastic
Yep.
year. Actually, I had three awards: best ongoing game,
Yeah.
fantastic year; best community support because 343 they've been really killing it in terms of
Yeah.
communication, transparency,
I
their
was
team in
surprised to
general.
see freaking Destiny up there.
Yeah,
Like
which
what?
is insane to me. Like,
Yeah. It's like what? Like
and bro,
there's definitely better
this
games out there
voting
for
had to have
community
happened in the
support.
last couple of weeks, I'd say. Like, there's no way it was that far in advance. You know what I mean? Like, to
Yeah.
count the nominations, which means the people knew about the layoffs and the shuttering of the friggin' entire community team, and they're like, let's nominate this company. Are you kidding me? What?
Yeah. No.
God. But Halo was not nominated for Best Ongoing, which I think was a mistake. I think it should be there. Don't think Cyberpunk should. Just the nature of the kind of game it is, it doesn't fit amongst the other games here. Um, and what's it called? And it should have been nominated for Best Community Support, and it should have been, in my opinion, nominated for Best Esports Event because Worlds was a fantastic event. They did a great job running it. We had our first
Yeah.
bracket reset. Like,
Unfortunately, I don't think the Halo esports is big enough for that though.
but it
Because I
shouldn't
mean,
be
you think
about
about it.
size, right? It should be about
No,
quality.
but like, well, yeah, but I'm saying like they would probably nominate if it were to get nominated. It'd probably never win because you would have things out there
I'm
like
okay with it not
Overwatch
winning. I'll be
stuff like
honest.
that.
I just want like the team to get
You just
recognition.
want it nominated.
That's it. Like
Yeah,
I don't care about the
yeah,
game. I
I
don't
can
care about
see
the
that.
award. I want the teams like Halo's community team, Halo's esports team. I want them to get some recognition for the work they've put in.
Yeah,
They've put in so much work and passion to this. You know, like so annoying. Friggin' and because the weird cutoffs, it couldn't even be nominated in 2021. So it had to win through community choice, which it did.
yeah,
But yeah, that's something I had to get off my chest. I think this year in particular is very. It shows very transparently some of the issues with Jeff's nominating systems. I think,
yeah.
like,
I mean, he's super biased. I don't even like fucking like looking at his stuff anymore. I'm just like, honestly,
I
I
mean,
see it
Jeff
and I'm just
definitely
like,
has
ah,
his
fuck off.
biases, right? But I mean, he's not the one making these votes. So in a way, it's him
Yeah,
who's.
there's a
I mean,
panel,
it's his
but like
fault for
he's
not giving
biased.
like more stringent requirements. Like, hey, by the way, guys, to be um a coach of the year, they need to actually be coaching this year, right? That should be a requirement before you send your nominations in.
Yeah,
Um, but more than that, I think it's the panel, the industry. You could say just they kind of just show how bad they, not how bad, how ignorant they are with votes like these or nominations like these. You know,
yeah. I mean,
friggin'
it's the same. It's the same reason why the not the Oscars, the one for all the movies and stuff. So that's
should be
not the
Oscars.
Oscars,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, where they nominate all the
Hmm,
like,
hmm.
oh, picture of the year
Yep.
and stuff like that, or like, oh, like a lot of that stuff. People aren't gonna watch them anymore because they're like half the stuff that's put up is just like, oh, it's like that was actually garbage, or it's
Yep.
so, like
Yep.
so political and
100%.
stuff
Dude,
now.
I made the mistake
Like,
of watching an Oscar, Best Picture Oscar nominee. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. This was 2 years ago. It was legit
yep,
awful. I'm not
yeah.
gonna say in case someone here likes the movie, but
Well, I
it was
think like
trash.
Cats or something was up there like one of these years for
Cats, I think it was
something.
nominated for
That's
best
just,
makeup or something, or best costume design. I don't think it was nominated for best picture. No way.
I'm also
No
yeah,
way.
I don't know. But it's just like I remember seeing like stuff up there, and people were like, "Why is that stuff
Yeah,
there?"
some stuff
It's like it's
should not
obviously
be there.
it's yeah, it's like
But
obviously just there because they try to do a message or something. It's
yeah.
like no, yeah,
Back to games for a sec. Friggin' for best esports
yeah,
event, right? Look at this
tangent.
thought process. They nominated the League of Legends World Championship, which is cool. They're usually great events. It's happening this Saturday. How are you gonna
So
nominate an event that hasn't even happened yet?
yeah,
What?
I don't know that, and I because that was always the issue too with like games that released kind of later on in the years and stuff too. Is like sometimes like they'd be up there, but it's like, oh, well, how the hell are you gonna vote on stuff that isn't even out yet?
Yes. Yes.
Um, and uh, so it's like, well, you have to kind of save it for. It's better to save that stuff for next year, but then by next year happens, it's like, oh, it's forgotten about.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole process isn't
It's
perfect for sure.
super flawed. But okay. So we had one community question from Strawman again. Technically, he answered two. He asked two, which is question for the show. What's your favorite Halo track, and why is it "Pursuit of Truth"?
Pursuit of Truth.
To be
I
honest, I
don't
don't
know what that
remember.
Halo track
"Pursuit of Truth"
means.
doesn't ring a bell either when I first read it. Which game is it from?
I saw a TikTok of
Oh, Halo 2.
uh the Halo 2 where it was just like it was like, oh, when you and your buddy land on Delta Halo and the music starts playing, and it's just like a one of those crappy like cutouts of someone who's like dancing and stuff, and like trying to like get low and do some dances that does not match the music, but made it fucking hilarious.
I mean, I definitely recognize this. This isn't Walk in the Woods. No. Oh no, this is good.
Is it playing?
I'm not playing it for thing. I'm playing it for myself. I can't play this in the stream, and we're gonna demonetize everything. But favorite track for you though. I have one. I have two really easy answers. I've already thought about this a lot. So
I mean, it probably would be the track that plays in for Delta Halo, like when you first like
yeah,
land and going through there. Like I like
I
that
think that
one.
track might be
But
called Halo. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think so. And then but the uh probably the Halo 2 Mjolnir mix.
Yes, of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course. I'm getting a. I think I'm learning guitar, like electric guitar. I gotta. If I do, I need to learn that riff for sure. But for me, the easy answer is the Trials. It's a Halo 5 track, which is a mishmash of like a bunch of other tracks, and it's so good.
Oh,
It's
yes. Yeah.
so good. Like it has like this like three key like don't throughout it like in moments, and it works amazingly. But it's kind of cheating because it's like it's not a Halo 5 track. It's
It's
like
a lot of music.
yeah, it's a mishmash of a bunch of different tracks. Other than that, I love Reach's Overture or Overtune, whatever it's called, like the main theme. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I probably also have to throw out there the Warthog Run. The
yes,
music that plays with that.
of course,
Another classic.
100%.
There's just like so many good scores and stuff in it. It's hard to pick.
Yeah.
So many of them have so many memories and
You know,
stuff.
someone gave an idea. I think it might have been mixed, where it's like we should do bracket tournaments or one what's it called? Face off tournaments, whatever it's called, like a face to face.
But
No, what's the term?
yeah, I think it's like a bracket tournament to figure out like who like wins, and then
Yeah, so
gets
like
put
do
up
that for
top
things
there.
like best soundtrack, best weapon, things like that. That'd be fun. That'd be a cool idea. We should look into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we could probably do that. Well, how about we like try to start doing that stuff now, and then for the winners, we'll do 12 days of Halo for Christmas.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so we just have to come up with 12 categories that people will vote on, but and then get it going like next week.
Oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be difficult. That's gonna be difficult.
Yeah,
We gotta do the fort stuff still too. I gotta make the
yeah.
video. Oh my god, I gotta record
I
some more
know.
footage.
I know. We need more people on the team.
Straight up, yeah, we
Wink,
do.
wink to all the people out there that wanna do some fun stuff, but you won't get paid, unfortunately. Not yet, anyways. But if you want to join our team, spots are open.
But yeah, but that should do it. That was a relatively short show, about an hour almost to the point. Got the news pretty flipping quick. Next time we're on, we'll save the lore talk with the flood. And hey, maybe we'll have some news about Firefight next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, if it's coming in 2-3 weeks, they should let us know at least a little beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe next week too. Yeah, we'll see how. It might be a longer podcast. I don't know. Maybe we'll try to do a little bit longer if I know that I might be
Busy the
potentially
next
down
couple
for a
weeks.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll try to do the trivia thing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to find my my old encyclopedia
And
book.
I'll get a third person for sure. I tried a fair bit this week. It's just people are really busy this time of year. It's tough.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, next week it'll be the day before Thanksgiving,
Oh
so
yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
So for us here in America, I guess we can get someone in Canada or Britain who's not celebrating Thanksgiving, then
Yeah.
we could do that. But
But yeah, so that is our show. That's the 84th episode. Thank you very much for watching. And you guys have a good day.
yeah, see you all later.